Hey, beautiful. Welcome back to another episode of the Meant to Bloom podcast. I'm your host, Brittany Clarkson. I'm so glad you're here with me today, whether you're joining me on a podcasting app or you're here on YouTube watching me face to face. If you are on a podcast app and you'd like to up-level this experience and be able to look me in the face while I'm talking to you, join my YouTube, go subscribe. It is youtube.com/at Brittany Clarkson, BrittniClarkson, just like it's written everywhere for you to see on my page. Anyways, let's dive into today's, okay? I'm so very excited to be sharing with you this one because I just, like all my podcast episodes, I guess, I'm excited to share with you, and I think this is very important information that a lot of other people, a lot of other resources kind of skip over. And this is like why living your best life isn't working for you. Why is rising to that next level so difficult? Okay? We're answering this question of why does sorry, my words, my mouth. Why does becoming a better version of yourself feel so hard? Trying to set new goals, cultivate a positive mindset, be kinder and more helpful, to be more patient, more emotionally available in your relationships, or to complete tasks or have better time management, to learn a new skill, to make more friends. Why is rising to that next level not working for you? I've got the answer. It's because you're not starting from the beginning. You're trying to do something you're not equipped yet to do. You're trying to actually skip a level. Okay? You have to do the prerequisite work if you want to see real lasting results. You might gain some momentum. You might get, a couple weeks of growth, and then you're going to backslide and you're going to backfall again. Why does that keep happening? Why is it one step forward, two steps back? One step forward, one step back. Why are you not actually getting anywhere in this growth? All you're doing is like learning new methods and new concepts and new ideas and getting more mantras and believing in yourself a little bit more, just to end up back where you started and not actually see real growth. Why does that happen? Okay. What this concept is like, it's like when you try to heal a broken bone without setting it first. It might heal. Your bone will fuse back together, but if it's not set properly, you've got to re-break it to set it properly so that that healing happens right, so that you can use that bone properly. Okay? So yeah, it might hurt a little if we got to re-break this bone. Luckily, that's just a metaphor. There's no actual bone breaking. This is easier than it sounds and a lot less painful than that. All right? So we have this pressure to live your best life, and that can feel so attainable sometimes because we're trying to get to level 3, level 4, when really we need to focus on level 1. What is level 1? We're going to look at Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This is a very psychologically based, tried and true sort of foundational practice. And that is, Abraham Maslow believed that to reach self-actualization, which is being your best self, living your best life, that is self-actualization. That's like the psychological term for it, to be living in your potential and to be fulfilling your purpose in life. That's at the top of our pyramid. We have to climb the steps to get there. Okay? And you know what? I don't even want to see it as a pyramid. I want to see it as a staircase. Because a pyramid suggests that you're going to go back down. It's not a hill. It's a staircase to get up to that top. Okay? That staircase, we have to start at the foundation. Your step 1, level 1, is meeting your physical, basic human needs. So much of us skip this. Did you get enough sleep last night? Are you eating 3 to 5 well-rounded, nutrient-dense portions of food? Okay? Are you drinking enough water? Do you feel okay in the clothes you're wearing? Does your skin and your clothes feel okay? Are you meeting your basic needs? Okay? Your basic needs are food, water, shelter, sleep, and clothing. Basic needs. And if any of those feel off, any of those feel unmet, any of those feel like garbage for you, reaching to level 2, 3, 4, 5, in some cases 6 and 7 actually, because they have recently added 2 more levels to this. I guess not recently, but after the fact, there are 2 invisible levels that have been added. We're not going to talk about those today, though. But if you're not meeting those needs properly and efficiently and effectively and in a way that feels good, if you are struggling to meet those needs, forget moving up to the next one. Forget being your best self if you are not taking care of those basic physical needs. Because when you haven't had enough to eat, let's say your goal is to stop yelling at your kids. Okay, if you don't have enough sleep, if your clothes feel itchy and tight and gross, like if you hate yourself for wearing those clothes, how are you going to show up all day? If you haven't drank enough water, you're dehydrated. If you haven't eaten, can you really maintain your calm and your peace when your kids are bouncing off the walls, being in a high energy state, just being the kids that they are meant to be? When they're acting in these ways that you perceive as triggers, these ways that flare your anxiety, are you going to be able to not yell at them? Are you going to be able to keep the peace internally? Are you going to be able to show up and be the best mom that you know you can be? Or are you going to lose it? Are you going to slip up and yell? It's as simple as that. If your goal is to be more patient, your goal is to be more present in your relationships, if your goal is to lose weight, you better be sleeping. You better be eating enough. Because if your body thinks it's starving, you go into survival mode if your basic needs are not met. Physical needs being met helps keep you out of survival mode. And if you're in survival mode, forget growth. You've got to find a plateau and get back to 0 before you can rise above. Because survival mode is like -1 to 5 levels. Okay? Because sometimes survival mode is way deeper. Sometimes it's just like, okay, I haven't been meeting my needs. I'm not really at my best right now. And that's like a level 1, like a level -1. But sometimes you're in survival mode. There's a lot going on in your life right now. You are overwhelmed. You also have a mental disorder or a physical condition, or, there's just so much actually going on that like you have to put growth on hold because you need to just focus on maintaining. And when everything happens all at once, you get a depressive episode. Your body has some kind of a physical flare-up going on. Your immune system is shot. You can really drop levels negatives. So if you're like a -5 and you think, oh, I can change a couple habits and get up to level 5, self-actualization, I can live my best life today, that's going to be pretty hard because you've got to climb those steps back to 0 in order to set these goals for growth, right? And going from level -5 to level -4, that's an achievement. That is an accomplishment. That is something to be celebrated. Just like going from 4 to 5, right? Just like going from level 1 to level 2. Going from -5 to 0, that is awesome. That is amazing. That's even harder work than going from 0 to 5, right? Because growing from 0 is easier. Growing from negative is harder. Digging yourself out of that hole is harder than rising up from a base level where your needs are actually already met. Okay? Not everyone starts at 0. Some of us have started from negative numbers. Okay? And I'll be the first to like jump on board and tell you, yeah, I've been there. Sometimes I still go back. Sometimes I still stumble back and fall and my needs are not met and I fall into depression and let the anxiety and the overwhelm overtake me. But you know what? I've climbed these levels before. I can do it again. And that's what gets me climbing them faster, is that I've gotten there before. Okay? It's like if you ever played Super Mario Bros. And you start on like level 1, it feels hard at first. But if you beat the game and then you go back to level 1, it's like, yeah, I can climb these levels again. This is easy. I've done it before. I've done harder before. I can do it. That's the kind of momentum, motivation sort of outlook you need when it comes to these levels, give and take, climb and fall. We keep going. We keep progressing. It gets easier every time because you've done it before. Okay? So, basic needs. And it is a ripple effect when you have unmet physical needs that your goals are not going to be easily accomplished. You're self-sabotaging yourself by not meeting those basic needs. And that's level 1. Level 1, food, water, shelter, sleep, clothing, breathing, air. Air is a level 1. We didn't mention that before. Intentional breathing practices, learning how to use your breath to regulate your nervous system, will have positive benefits. It will make things easier, and it will give you momentum to keep moving forward. Okay, so let's talk on level 2, safety and stability. This is emotional and financial security. These are things that can be silent stressors. Okay, these are things that like we don't talk about as much. We can lock them in a closet and pretend that they're not a problem, when really they are psychologically, subconsciously affecting you on a day-to-day level. They are climbing in there and they are bothering you and keeping you from moving forward, because you have to solve the problem before you move on to the next, right? We can't just sweep it under the rug and move on and be like, done. It's still there. And it's still going to bother you because you know it's there and you know it's a problem. All right? This is where building stable routine helps to give you a peace of mind. Okay? Safety, stability. That's got to be met before we move on to number 3, love and belonging. All right? So this is where we don't want to isolate. This is where we need to have those relationships with the people around us. We have to be fostering genuine relationships while combating the loneliness. All right? Community is key in thriving. And it is the belief on this, the foundation on this, which is why I offer the Blossom Academy connection, because I think in growth, we have to have that community. You have to have a place where you can go, where everyone else, like, where everybody knows your name, where everybody all wants the same thing, and everybody has faced these same sort of dragons and monsters, and they can help you and just support you and come alongside you and encourage you. That's what it's for. And it's also a place where you can find all kinds of resources I've created to keep helping you through this, right? Because it's community, and I'm there for you, and I will, respond to every single DM direct message that I get within that community. So Blossom Academy Connection, previously known as Bloom Room, get into that. All right. It's the easiest way to help meet this love and belonging and not isolate yourself. Okay. So number 4 is the esteem and the self-worth, right? This is being recognized for your accomplishments. This is recognizing your own accomplishments. This is breaking free from that comparison culture. This is really getting confidence in who you are, and like having respect from those around you, feeling respect, having self-respect, having this self-worth and this self-love. All right. If you're trying to love yourself, you're skipping to level 4, right? If you're working on self-love and you're not meeting your basic needs, how easy is it to, is it possible to love yourself when you're not prioritizing your own basic human needs? Can you really experience self-love? Can you really accept love from those around you? Can you accept the compliments and the recognition and the respect from those around you when you are not eating well, drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, trying to get enough sleep? Are you even trying to get enough sleep? Or are you living your life complaining that you just never get enough sleep? You're always so tired. You're always so exhausted. You are self-sabotaging yourself. Okay. Number 5 is that self-actualization. All right. That is living your best life. That is being the best you can be. That is living in your potential. That is living out your purpose in life. This isn't something that everybody achieves. Okay. You have to set realistic and meaningful goals. And self-actualization is where a lot of our goals live. A lot of times we go and we set our New Year's resolutions and we're thinking, how could I live my best life? What would be like the number one thing I could accomplish this year? That's step 5. And if you're not meeting every level up to that, meeting that is going to be really hard to do, because you're constantly, every step of the way, sabotaging yourself by not completing the mission on every level, right? So that is feeling like a rant for the day. I hope you get from this exactly what you needed to get from this. And I hope that whatever level you're at, you can learn to love yourself, and that you can give yourself the time and the respect and the care that you need to move forward and to keep going and to keep growing. And friend, I'm here for you for this. I would love to hear your feedback in the comments below.